good evening, and welcome to the Round Table. We are so excited that you are joining us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. If you are joining us on Facebook, go ahead and like our page so you can follow along with everything that we're doing here on the Round Table and at the King's Cathedral. And also, if you are following us on YouTube, feel free to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when we go live. So as you are coming in, feel free to type in where you are coming from. This is a global ministry, so we love to hear where everybody is tuning in from. So go ahead and do that as you are coming in. And today we have an exciting topic for you. We are going to be discussing the topic of mental health and how it pertains to the holidays. So get excited for that. We have a special guest with us, none other than Elder Sandra. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. So we're just gonna dive right into it. So can you tell our audience, what inspired you to basically get involved with mental health and your journey in that?
Sure. Mental health has always been something that's personal to me. I was an advocate before I knew I was an advocate for people who I felt weren't treated properly, who sometimes kids made fun of in school. So it was always something that I loved to do, to advocate for. Growing up, and then it hit me personally, my own personal life. I dealt with mental health myself, and I'm not ashamed to say that I deal with depression. I fight it daily, and I also, when I had my children, I dealt with mental health, with dealing with my son as well. And so, having to go through those phases of it, I realized that the only way to help people or to make an impact is that if I learn more about it myself, from a professional perspective. And so I started going to school to learn more about it. And so now I had a master's in organizational management and leadership, and then I wanted to know how do you, that's the business side, but how do you make a difference in the people? I wanted that hands-on people training and how to work with people when I come across it. And so I went back to get my degree in clinical mental health counseling, because there's such a need for it.
Right.
There's such a need for it, clinical mental health counseling, period.
Wow, that's awesome. So exciting. I mean, I feel like that's just like, you're able to be relatable, and have that one-on-one personal relationship with people, right?
Yes. The thing people fail to realize is that we all have mental health. It's just how we deal with it. We deal with it differently. So everybody has mental health. There's good mental health, and there's disturbed mental health. There's bad, what I call, people say bad mental health, but everybody has mental health, and if you don't take care of your mental health, then it could deteriorate, as with anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes, more so now it's been talked about and not such a stigma upon it, but I feel like when discussing the topic of health, physical health comes up, spiritual health, and I feel like it's more so about our physical appearance, how we look on the outside, but really, what's going on in the inside, emotionally, can affect the outside appearance too.
Absolutely.
But I feel like it gets pushed to the wayside. But as the years have gone on, and I feel like recently in the past few years, at least it's been more talked about, and people are able to be more open about it, which is great.
It's funny you should say that, because one of the things I always say is that when things hit people that are in politics, or it hits people who are in places of power or their families, then it becomes an issue. And I know probably get a lot of chats about that. However, it's when it hits home, it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
People have suffered for years with mental health, and it's been a stigma, especially in our churches.
Right.
And let's just say that, to start with that. People in which is another reason why I wanted to do this mental health piece, because in our church, people are stigmatized for having mental health. It's okay to go to your doctor for your cardiologist for your heart, but it's not okay to have mental health. Jesus is supposed to fix that, and he will. But for those who are not at a place where their faith is strong enough to believe, there are people here that I believe that have been placed here in these positions to be able to help you through that process.
Right.
And having someone to help you sort out the pieces, so to speak.
Yeah, that's such a good point that you bring up. Yeah, I definitely feel like the stigmatism in the church, but I feel like it's being more talked about, which is great as well. So on the topic of holidays, it's mainstream how, this time of year is the greatest time of the year. But I know for a lot of people that maybe have lost somebody or going through some hard things, maybe a loss of a job or, just a change in season, this can be a tough time for people. And, I think it's something to, be able to find the joy in the season, but also if you're grieving, acknowledge it. Maybe not dwell in it, but allow yourself to feel those feelings.
You should always. I always tell people that your situations are like waves in the ocean, right? Even when you're dealing with grief, the waves are always going to be in the ocean, and sometimes they're going to hit you hard, and you're going to feel those waves, and they're going to make an impact. And then there's days when those waves are going to come, and it's just going to be like a little flutter across the ocean. That's the same way it is with that when you're grieving. If you're dealing with it properly, it'll hit you hard in the beginning when it happens. Of course, your world is crushed, and yet you still have to find a way to get through. Ride that wave. Ride the wave. Don't give up. Ride that wave, because sooner or later you're going to get to a place where that wave is no longer has that impact. It'll still be in your life. That person, that loved one will still be, you'll still remember them, but it won't hit you as hard. And then there's days when you'll remember something that they said that'll make you mad. You'll get angry. You'll laugh. People will think you're crazy, but you'll be laughing at something that happened. And that's when you start to heal. You start to heal when you start to face it and deal with it.
Right, and I feel like, I don't really know much about this topic, but I would assume that, ignoring the feelings and the pain and stuff, and pretending everything's okay, or putting up a front I'm okay when all of this is really bothering you. I feel like that could lead to mental health issues, right?
Most people who are going through, they put up a facade, and you can put the makeup on, you can dress up, you can go out, and you can make yourself look good for a moment, right? And you're in, and then you're back in the house, and all those people, no one's around you, and you're by yourself, and that's when you start to spiral down. Some people will reach out, and some people won't. Depression. The one thing I will say, especially during the holiday season, depression is real. People start to realize before the holidays, everybody is all hyped up. They want to buy the toys, they want to do this, they want to buy the gifts, they want to have the nice stuff, the decorations, everything is pretty, and then it goes away after a day. After a day, now you got the bills, now you got the credit card, now you got the bills that you didn't pay, and all those things bring about a depression.
Like the post-holiday blues.
Absolutely. The post-holiday blues, that's a really good name for it. And so one of the things I say to people when I'm talking to them about this time is surround yourself by things other than material things. Surround yourself with people. Surround yourself with doing something that matters. For example, my kids and I, since they were little, one of the things we do is our Christmas tree, we put it up. Every ornament that they put on that tree, they have to say something it means to them. They have to have a meaning. They have to. It's either you can have one in memory of someone, but why? What is it that person that you're remembering?
Right.
And so when we take that tree down, there's always those memories, and you're putting those back in that box, and they're put there in safekeeping, right? And so it becomes a ritual. It becomes you look forward to something, but you don't have to worry about all the money that you spent or all the things that you didn't. Because half the time you spend all the money and you see the kids pick the little toy that's the least expensive toy and watch them go play. I watch my grandson. He'd take a little Hot Wheel car and he'll just ride all around the floor. He's got all these electronics things sitting in the corner, and I smile because we do it every time. You spend all this money, and then you go through the blues, the holiday blues, the post blues, holiday blues. Yeah, that's a good name for it.
So yeah, I mean, I would think like some advice would be like not to get caught up in the commercialized aspect of Christmas, right? And like the holiday season, the hustle bustle.
Don't get caught up. Listen. If we've learned nothing in 2020 to 2021, it's that family matters, right? Our loved ones matter, and so spend time with them. Do some baking, bake some cookies. I don't care if they come out like rocks. The fact that you made them and you did that with your babies, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your significant other. Cooking is therapeutic. It's very therapeutic.
I mean, I think for a lot of people, but I think some people would get stressed.
Well, if you let it stress you, if you go in with the mindset, we're going to follow this recipe, and however it comes out, it's going to come out, and laugh about it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come out, then hey, it's a reason to go out for dinner.
I mean, the important part of
is
that
the togetherness.
Right.
The important part of it is that you are making quality time and you're making lasting memories.
Right.
And they're not going to go away when the holiday goes away.
Right.
That's the important part of it. I know I'm joking about it, but the important part is that take some time. You know how many kids that have no one to sit down with them and even tell them the real story of Jesus? To just spend that quality time with them, to talk to them about, what it means, what Christmas really means.
Right.
Who the gift really is, right? And they think that it doesn't come wrapped under the tree, that the man doesn't come down the chimney with a back on. I spent years leaving Santa Claus milk and cookies, and they would put little drippings on the table and say, "Oh, Santa made a mess," and I believed them. I was the last one of my siblings to not believe in Santa Claus. That was the year I got a switch. I didn't like Santa after that. But yeah, that's another story for another day.
Yeah. So I mean, what other advice do you have?
So if you find yourself, if you find one of the things, if you find yourself feeling down and depressed, or feeling like you're by yourself, don't stay in your situation. Don't stay alone. Don't stay shut up in that room. Force yourself to get out. Force yourself to pick up that phone and say, I don't want to be alone. I'm here by myself and I need somebody. Call someone. Reach out.
Right.
Reach out. Don't stay stuck. And you know what they have? You can always call United Way 211 line. You can always call them and they can refer you. If you need someone to talk to, there's on the back of most medical cards, you have your healthcare provider, and you can call the number on there and they will connect you with who is in your network. But there's someone that you can always call, but don't stay stuck in to alone. And you can always call King's Cathedral Grace Prayer Line. Reach out to us. We have the prayer line, and we have intercessors that are available to talk to you most of the time. So give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll pray with you and help you through.
I mean, I think when you're feeling down and in a depressive state, it's easy to just stay there and be comfortable and not get uncomfortable in reaching out or taking that step.
So one of the things I will say to people is this: especially if you know that you suffer with depression, try to keep yourself from getting into those places alone. Do preventive things. For instance, try not to be in your room with the windows dark, right? Dark rooms bring about depression. With the blinds closed. Put some light on. If you have to sleep with the light on in there, whatever. Have some music playing in the background, some music or something. Light up your room. Do not put yourself into situations, or try not to, where you are by yourself to just sit and look at what you don't have, right? Start looking around at the things that you do have and start spending time with those. Those are easy things to do. When you just start thinking and say, wow, last year I had a 1-bedroom apartment. This year I had 2.
Yeah, you bring up a good point on that. I think, thanking God for the things that we do have, and not dwelling on our circumstances. or comparing,
Yes,
even comparing,
comparing.
like, oh, I wish I had this, or oh, I wish I had this, you know, like waking up every day saying, thank you, Lord, for breath in
Yes,
my lungs. Thank you
exactly.
that I can get out of this bed. You know, even if it's just the basics, you know, starting with that builds like a heart of gratitude
It
and
does.
Thanksgiving.
It
You know,
does.
and I feel like it can pull you out from that dark place.
If you know what it will do when you start doing the thank yous, when you start thanking God for the things that you do have, and stop looking at what you don't, you start to feel better about yourself. You almost feel embarrassed that you was even thinking that you didn't have anything, because you start to realize how much you really have.
Right.
Even your friends, like you may have lost loved ones during this season. It's like, thank you, God, that you spared my life. Thank you, God, that Mama so and so is no longer suffering. Right. Thank you that she is at peace. Right. Thank you that she taught me to thank you. You know, if it was an older grandmother, or thank you that she took care of me to the best of her ability. You know, those things that, thank you, God, because that person who is on the street at night doesn't have anyone to love them. I have a family that loves me. In spite of all my faults, I have a family that loves me. And
this is a great time to also like give back to your community. Maybe like you're feeling down about like some certain situation in your life, you know, giving back and like focusing on others, you know, can also change your mindset.
It can
too.
Yes, because it takes it off of you. It takes it off of our selfish selves.
Right.
And puts it where
I mean, it's true.
It's true. Yeah. It's our self. It's about us. Ourself. It takes it away from us, and it starts to put it where it belongs, and that's helping other people. The purpose. It's helping people. You know, I received a phone call the other day from one of my oldest grandson, and he said, "Nana, you taught me that this is the time that I need to help people, and I need your help to help a family for Christmas."
Aww, so sweet.
It's a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so I said, okay, give me their story. And he was able to do it. And, and I was I was very impressed, because that's what we're missing a lot. We worry so much about what's under our tree for us.
Right.
And we forget about that child, that person who, a pair of socks, they'd be so happy with.
Right.
And we want to get the latest electronics, the latest phone, the latest video game, and yet be happy. Being happy with you. It starts with you.
Right.
It starts with you. Be happy with you. And if you're not happy with you, then it's time to do some assessments, right? Do some assessments. What is it that you don't like about you? What is it about you that's causing you this discomfort? Right? And start doing some assessments and evaluating those things. And you may need to talk to someone. You may be able to work through it yourself. You know, but the key is being honest with you. Being honest with you.
That's really good.
Acknowledging it. Acknowledge where you are. Nobody expects to be a 10 every day. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was all great information. One thing that I would add is, if you know somebody that tends to fall into like depressive states during this time, or you know, dealing with other mental health issues, you know, maybe being the person to reach out to them. You know,
absolutely.
Just to connect with them, check in with them. And also, I mean, I am always gonna stress this, but it is so important to be part of a community.
Yes.
So our Sozo groups are on a break right now, but we'll be relaunching in January. So if you want to be a part of a community, you can go to our website, the King's Cathedral, and click on the Sozo link, and you can fill out the information to get connected into a group. We've had these groups going for quite a long time now, and the communities that have been built through these groups are so amazing and crucial, and just can't stress it enough. So if you are looking to be a part of a community, go ahead and do that. And before we wrap up, I want to ask a quick few questions, just like 5 questions, rapid fire questions. We like to do it at the end of each show with each guest. So let's just go to that real quick. So what is your favorite food?
My favorite food would have to be chicken and dumplings.
Where did you grow up?
In Delaware.
Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite color?
Blue.
That's my favorite color too. If you could travel anywhere, where would it be?
Actually, because I've already gone to, I would have said the Bahamas, but since I've gone there so many times, I would say Dubai.
Ooh, yes.
Dubai, yeah. I'd like to go to Dubai.
It's nice.
It's so beautiful. My goddaughter lives there.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm trying to work on a trip.
Nice. And what was your favorite, did you have a pet growing up?
We did.
What?
I had a dog.
What was it?
I had a Labrador Retriever named Duke.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, and one more for good measure. Favorite Christmas tradition?
My favorite Christmas tradition, I think, was when we did the cotton, threaded the cotton and made the cotton to go around the tree.
Cotton?
Popcorn.
Oh.
The popcorn. We did the needle and thread, and you thread the popcorn, and then you wrapped it around the tree like the garden place of the garden.
Wow.
The only thing was, if there was a mouse in the house, the mouse would eat the popcorn, or the cat would eat the popcorn. But it was so much fun doing the popcorn. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, well that is awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight. This episode will be the last episode of this season of the Round Table, and we will be starting season 3 in January, so tune in for that. Again, if you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are turned on, and also if you are following us on Facebook, be sure to like the page so you can follow up with what's going on. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Round Table to you.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Bye.